G0GSR in the group, M0SBZ.
G0GSR. Well, one of the things I downloaded, it was a video converter, and it wanted to install other things on the computer. And if you just blindly went ahead and clicked OK as it went through the NAG process, the operator annoyance process, you would have all these extra things on the computer. And one of them was a computer management application, which I can't imagine why anyone would want that, or even what it did, but luckily you did get the opportunity to tick a box and deny that. But it did manage to hijack the home page on my browser to its own site, but that was easily fixed. But you don't really know what else these things are doing, do you? Sometimes they admit to it, and other times they don't. But I'm not really into illegal software anymore. But you do tend to get this problem with Windows, but you don't tend to get it with Linux. The software is more genuine. The free software really is free software. It's legally free, and it doesn't tend to carry these little extra payloads that you get with the Windows stuff. I think people are a lot more honest when they're writing software for Linux systems rather than Windows. I really must get my computer fixed. This one is in a hell of a state at the moment. I used to have it dual booting between Windows 10 and Linux. I've only got Windows 10 on it because I've got, I think, one application that won't run that needs Windows, and that's not too critical. But then something went wrong with the hard disk, I think, which was quite new, and the Linux started to...
East 7 Dogger. East to northeast 7. Other districts, no warnings.
Here this morning, it's about 1 degree. Nothing to get excited about, but a bit chilly outside, so not the weather for gardening,
shall we say. Running 400 watts PEP for that channel.
Capturing of this sort. But I don't know whether John wants to continue with this. Are you going to stay with us, John? I presume you're going to stay with us, so I'd be pleased to talk to you if that's what you wish. So anyway, I think he's round to Dave anyway, from G0GSR.
Yeah, Roger, G0GSR with G3VZF, M0SBZ returning.
Well, even Java, you know the Java thing that gets updated every now and again, even that has a little trap in it. I think every time I do it, I think, I must remember to detect that box. And I think what it does, they change is it the search engine or the home page? They do something. I think they changed the default search engine to not the famous one, the Google one, the other one. No, I can't remember now. Anyhow, I think they changed that. If you just sort of click OK on all the windows that keep popping up, and I have to remember to read all these things. So whenever I'm downloading and installing software, I think now slowly, don't just say yes. Read each one and make sure there are no boxes to uncheck. And like you, occasionally I forget to do it and find that my home page has been changed. But of course that's happened several times, so I know how to change it back. But the majority of people wouldn't, of course. I don't think the majority of people are into it, are they? I think the majority of people just want to use their computers rather than understand them. So it can happen to the best of us. There are two links, actually, Frank. As I said, there is the first one, which was the Tinkerers and launching a ring projectile, and that's an EMP launcher about the size of a shoebox. And then there's the big one, which launches the plate. So I'll send you both links. And I would be very, very grateful if somebody, either yourself or somebody you know, our friend Daz maybe, down in Brisbane, if they could convert it to something that I could play, because it would be nice to keep it a bit like an old photograph as a keepsake. It would be very, very nice. Right, so it's round to John. So the order is John, Frank, and then me. So round to you, John. G3VZF in the group, M0SPZ.
0SPZ, 0GSR, G3VZF. I put Kinker's launch projectile in, and it's come up with a site mod.curves.com. I guess there's quite a few things. Yes, as you say, Dave, there's no such thing as a free lunch, and too many of these things like flash updates, if you don't stop it to unfix the box, you suddenly find that you're loading Chrome or something like that onto your machine. The money makes the world go round, I'm afraid. Although I think you said, Frank, it's a slightly less tawdry world than the world of Linux and of Mozilla. All this sort of thing. It's not yet suited to this depth of stuff. And money means everything. As for this general problem you're discussing there, bear in mind that mod is really just a wrapper. It's an envelope. When you open out the envelope, blimey, there's a video track, there's a sound track, there's a subtitle track. So for instance, I'm looking at a mod video at the moment, running it off the internet, but actually inside it's using MPEG-4 as the actual encoding algorithm, and I can best give a little analogy of what the mod wrapper does as being the envelope around a letter. In itself conveys no information, but it does present you with the various bits inside the envelope that make up, I think, what they call a transport stream nowadays, which could easily, with a cinema film, be the main film.
It did occur to me to think about the procedure you adopt to tune that. I was thinking, now, if I'd got that, what would I do? Because I'm not sure what visual feedback you've got, apart from maybe your SWR meter. So I wonder whether you know. Well, you probably don't. Capacitors, as to know which way to go.
It's very long while over the roof of the house to it.
Trees at the end of the vast bit of waste ground at the back of the house in Croydon, and it was great. So all good fun. Anyway, yeah, I took the RE when I was 16, so you had to go to college in those days, but it was good. And you do 6 months college, take the exam in May, get the results in August, on the air by September. Pretty good going. So there we go. Yeah, fun on the solid state thing. What I've got is I've got two transceivers. I've got the 991 and an ACOM linear. I've tuned up for either 40 or 15 meters, and I leave the ICOM and the home brew linear for 80. So cuts down on tune-up. Having two separate setups. They just have to walk round the back of the chat table and change a couple of leads over. So that's the setup here. You can see it on the QRZ if you look up my entry. Anyway, I'll say 7 series. Voice is getting a bit husky. And time for tea, I think. But certainly not going outside. Hi. Okay, 7 series, and speak to you later. I'll be on a bit later on. In about probably half an hour or so. So GM0KEB, G4AKG signing, and thanks for the nice contact. T4AKG and 0KB. Okay, Peter. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right about the magnetic loop. I mainly got it for receive because it was directional and such a noisy band it can be from the 80 metres. So I thought I'd get one of those. They're big, they're 20 kilos they weigh. So it's only just about 8.5 off the ground. They don't have to be very high. So seems to work quite well. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, especially for receive. So yeah, well, we lived in Ilford originally, and I went to the Ilford Literature Institute, me and my brother, to take the course on that, but they wasn't very interested. It was a shame, really. You never know, I might have been a G3 still, never mind, and then life catch up with you, don't it, when you get older, and we've been in the garage trade for 45 years, and just about to retire this year, hopefully. And I did do the sitting guilds in radio, TV and electronics, but never got a job doing it, so I must have learned a bit somewhere many, many years ago. Okay, Pete, I'll let you go. We're just waiting for the mother-in-law to come, so I thought I'd go on the radio while I can. It's been a pleasure, Pete. Hopefully we catch up soon. Golf 4 Alpha Kilo Golf, Mike 0 Kilo Echo Bravo. Thank you. Yep, 7-3. Oscar Bravo Kilo.
The colours already, you know, and I suppose it's going to improve as the lens beds in and...
But it was quite a while ago now. It must have been 9-10 years ago, and it's amazing just how much of this thing you do forget. You know, once you retire from work, you think you can perhaps go back to work and carry on from where you left off, but that's just completely impossible. Because things move on at a hell of a rate nowadays, don't they? You mentioned Winamp, Dave, earlier on. I forgot to comment. I used to use Winamp many years ago, but I've not used it since then. I suppose it's programmed by a youngster, and it's for a youngster, so the display would suit a youngster, I suppose, and you've got no chance. I don't like a lot of these music players that try and do too much. In my mind, if I want to play a music file, I don't want to see anything on the screen. I don't want it to download any album art or lyrics or anything in the background without my knowledge. I just want to play the damn music, and you don't seem to be able to do that nowadays, do you? M0SPZ, the group G0GSR.
Hey, Roger, G0GSR with G3VZF, M0SPZ returning.
Yeah, I agree, Frank. It's I don't like all the clutter that comes with it. I mean, the VLC program, which I thought was probably one of the best, when I try to, I've got that on my tablet computer, and on the tablet computer it tries to do all sorts of things on the Android system that I don't really want it to do. So I've sort of disengaged it and gone back to the original Samsung music player, and all that does is play the music. It doesn't try and organise you into folders and files and favourites and all sorts of other things, and storing all the stuff in different places. It just goes ahead and plays the
CT that no tax, but of course they're losing a lot of money, aren't they, revenue. So what was our road tax and local tax?
Golf 4 Papa Charlie Echo, G4 PCE, Golf 4 Papa Charlie Echo, calling CQ80 in this one.
People can't afford, and the ones that they extort tax out of will be paying for those that don't want to do much, or in some cases can't fend for themselves. Right.
I'm sort of looking out of the window because we've got a little bit of bird life and sort of strung up and got around. Don't know what species they are, mate, but they're sort of looking around saying, where's my dinner? And of course with Carol being absent, I'm not putting any food out for them, so they'll be bringing up back now, won't they? And yeah, and actually, I could resolve a little bit of David for a change. And it might have, had I got my electronic filtering box, which is on the other end, I probably would have been able to hear him quite well. Right, let's see, who am I doing? After I come at night, doesn't it? Yeah, G4IOS from M0RDY.
G4IOS, yeah, quite right. Okay on everything there, and okay on the birds. And we've got 3 pheasants who are still with us. And they weren't fun about this morning. They seem impervious to the rain, whereas all the other birds have got places to shelter. Yeah, they're all about this morning, stuffing themselves, which is good. Anyway, have a good weekend. We're off to Morley tonight for the Grindthorpe band, which should be fairly good. And I think next one's the Black Dice, but I'm not 100% anyway. We shall find out when it comes to buying the tickets. They're deal. There's 3 of them are dear at the Corey, which are the current world champions. The Black Dice and the Grindthorpe. The rest are all £2 cheaper. Right. 7-3 to you, right? Down to Andy. And then that's it. And the group,
From F0DT. Well, I'm quite sure the birds will manage out there. I always wonder what happens when it's a bit different before pipe somewhere. Kind of up to the wall be blown, going into it. And that's the side of the road. Actually, on this morning, then you get something coming in from the south side. It's in the lot, and I don't know whether they're on next week or not.
Yeah, cheers, Andy. Next weekend is I think it's the CQ top band site.
Doesn't seem to move the January round the 0 mark. Anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. Look forward to hearing you some of you on Monday. Should be about. So the G3ZGP handing it round to Michael. And I know some of us will be going soon anyway. Round you, Michael. G3VOO Company, G3ZGP.
Quick break, Michael.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Michael, how do you reference where your rotator is... how do you feed back your reference from your tuner? Do you just do it on the SWR, or is there something more sophisticated over?
ED.
Sorry, who came in after you finished speaking?
Yeah, it's me, Mike. Yes, you can copy my audio, G60ED.
Yeah, okay. Nigel, very good morning to you. Yes, the audio's fine this morning, no problems whatsoever, and I think Alan wants to get hold of you for a test when I've finished. Yes, it's quite simple actually, the ATU. I say the model motors are reversible. I can reverse them here in the shack at the end of a long piece of cable. So I can move the model motors will go either one way or the other, so turn the capacitor or the inductance either one way or the other. I've got a little potentiometer on the inductance, so and a meter here on the control panel, so I can tell where the inductance is, John. So I know one of the parameters. And basically, that with the SWR enables me to tune the system. No matter where the capacitors are, once I tune the inductance to a point where I get a dip in the SWR, if you like, then once I start to tune either capacitor, the SWR will either go one way or the other, the same way as if you were physically tuning the knob. And then you can tune it up that way. And of course I've also got a reference chart as to where to set the inductance, more or less anyway, in order to get the thing tuned for the various bands. So it's not too difficult really. So it is to some extent the same way, I think, as you would operate it if it was a manual ATU. You would, what I usually do with a manual ATU is set the capacitors at about center of their travel, and then click the usually a switch, isn't it? Rotary Yaxley type switch on a tapped inductance to get a minimum reading on the SWR. Find the position which gives you the minimum reading, and then twiddle the capacitors to get the SWR down to hopefully nothing at all, or 1 to 1. So it's basically the same sort of system here, with, as I say, the inductance with its position is measured. So I think hopefully that explains it. But the model motors, they're little, well, they'll operate on any volts between about 1 volt and about 12 volts, I think. My problem is trying to get them to go slow enough, even though the reduction gearing in the system, the gearbox, reduces it, I don't know, hundreds, thousands to 1. But even so, there seems to be the actual cog, which is a nylon cog that is actually just pushed, they're not connected in any other way or locked in any other way. It's just pushed onto the spindle of the model motor. That cog does seem to be, or the motor anyway, is free spinning, and the cog's not going round. I suppose it's very difficult to be able to attach a nylon cog onto a stainless steel, a smooth stainless steel spindle. And I think maybe a bit of lubrication might have got on there, or whether it's just time or whatever. But not quite sure how to do it. If anyone's got any ideas about any super glue or something, maybe super glue would work. No, I haven't tried it. Little glue nylon onto stainless steel. Not the easiest thing, I suppose. But anyway, I will persevere. To be quite honest, I don't use it very much now. Now I've got it set up in a position where it tunes 80 meters on this frequency, and rather remarkably also tunes 5 megs as well on the same settings. I don't find I have to tune it very often.
Plug-in. I had to give it permission to run the flash plug-in for security, but it's playing now, and it was showing a small launcher, and then looks like they blew up an electrolytic capacitor inside a large glass flask. Dave, is that the one? Over?
Yeah, that's number 1. That's the first one, but you want the second one, which shows the disc launcher.
Well, I haven't exactly found that yet. That's the first one that came up. I did search for Planet Psycast Tinkerer's EMP launcher, and it came up with EMP launcher V2, and it looks like it's a flash player. I've just got the plug-in back up again. So presumably the other one is exactly the same. I haven't managed to find the other one yet. There's not a very good search facility on this site, but that one's certainly playing, so it's promising anyway, Dave.
Yeah, Roger. I can't remember. The first, was it launching a ring? Was it projecting a ring off of a solenoid?
Working for the first time.
Well, certainly in my log anyway, which goes back to 92. So I came back to GW, so I don't think we worked before. And yeah, working conditions here: a Flex SDR software-defined radio. Heel microphone with the HC5 insert, and that's driving a low power into a TL922 Kenwood amplifier, an elderly, heavily modified amplifier with the two 3-500s in, so that's giving me about 350 watts at the moment. It's the antenna, which is a half-wave dipole, a full-size half-wave dipole, only about 10 meters above ground, if that. So a nice high-angle signal for around the UK. 2E0, Box Delta Sugar, GW0GEI, over.
Yes, all received, Steve. It sounds a good setup anyway, and hopefully when I can get the rest of my license, I can get a few more steam in the outpack, push some more out. But conditions, as we say, are not good at the present, are they? And hopefully I can do a little bit better than that. The weather here this morning, I don't know what it's like with you, but it's pretty damp and drizzly. They promised us a little snow, I think, overnight, but we didn't get it. I'm probably just above freezing, about 2 degrees, and as I say, wet, very wet at the moment, and my dog's looking at me now as though he wants to go out for his walk, and I'm putting it off because it's so it's pouring down with rain at the moment, over.
Yeah, fine, Keith, 2E0, FDS GW0GEI. Yeah, all okay on everything. Yeah, my dog's sat by my foot switch at the moment, by my foot. Sometimes she sits on the foot switch and transmits accidentally. But I've got my foot on it at the moment, so... yeah, she's been out round the field this morning. We had some very, very light flurries of snow here. Hard freeze last night, but then it warmed up by this morning. There was no frost on the cars. It had gone by this morning. Over the night it had gone. But we probably had about a couple of hours of flurries of snow, but nothing else. It's cold enough to settle, but there's not enough in the sky to cause that. So it now looks like it's turning to light rain, similar to between light rain and sleet. So there's not much on the hills.
Right, anyway, all the best to you, Mike, because I think you're crossing the...
about 100 metres above sea level.
It doesn't look like there's much
in the sky. Clouds
are quite high this morning, so they're not the big, thick clouds, so when we get a big fall of snow, so...
Everything out, and we're expecting a team to arrive in the next 2 weeks. I think it'll be 2 weeks' time before they arrive, and going to take down a wall, make good the plastering, etc. Electrician's got to come in, and then we'll get the units in. So there are a few new appliances. There's a new oven, a new fridge, freezer, etc. No washing machines or tumble dryers. They're all okay. They're in the utility room, so we're not replacing them. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, but no, we're in a bit of a hold at the moment. Ruth's away down in Manchester at the moment, but she's on her way back today sometime, bringing the grandchildren up with her, so we're going to have the grandchildren over the weekend. I think it must be some sort of mid-term break or something, certainly down there in England anyway. So we're looking forward to that. Give a quick scoosh around with the old carpet hoover, as instructed by the XYL before she left. She insists that I go over and do some hoovering, so I did that this morning, and yeah, not too bad a job. Apart from that, I've been into Lockerbie this morning, picked up a prescription for radar. Goodness me, he cost me a fortune with his medication, but not to worry, he's worth it. Okay, who do I pass it to? I think, I'm not quite sure, Alistair, you always leave yourself out of sequence, so you're going to have to insert yourself in there, somewhere in the sequence. Anyway, as I recall, it goes out to Tom. So, good morning to you, Tom. You're 5 and 9 with me. Arthur was 5 and 7. Irene came up to about 5 and 8, and of course Alistair was 5 and 9. So back round to you there, Tom. GM3 DIE, GM8 UPI in Dumfries.
Drive up a little bit to switch the amp off, so about 60 watts there. Yeah, Lampeter, West Wales is the location, and running a Flex SDR 6300 with a heel microphone HC5 into a half-wave dipole only about 30 feet off the ground. Nice high-angle signal for its ESK working, so it works well. And at the moment about 60 watts. Now switch the amplifier off. It's a UA5 line plus anyway. So very good signal, and fuel deal. Kilo UIN, CW0 Golf Echo Italy.
Yep, Golf Whiskey 0, Golf Echo Italy, Golf 0 Uniform Yankee November. K5, please. 125 and 9 plus 10. 10, just on that. So go to this.
Just warmed up now to about 3 degrees, and it's gone pretty fast. It's been snowing quite a lot this morning, but it's